Hey, y'all. Welcome to Bri Chronicles. My name is Bri Peters. I am a family nurse practitioner in the Central Texas area and also a spa owner of Amera Chanel Med Spa. Welcome in. Come on, take a seat, get your coffee, get your tea, and we're going to talk about us some good old time management today. So, as we all know, going to school can be very trying and demanding, right? We got to put a lot of things in place, especially if you are a mother. So, let me share some things that happened to me while I was going through the process. I remember having long nights of studying, trying to get the kids ready to go to bed. Then, after I put them down, I would have to study to about 2, sometimes 3 o'clock. Take me a quick nap. That's what I called it. Got them ready for school and hit repeat. So it was a lot of times where I didn't get no sleep really at all. And then let's talk about when the kids had events and sports. I had to still show up. It didn't matter I was in school. I still had to show up and be that parent because remember, at that time, my significant other was in Iraq fighting for our freedom, right? He was deployed. So I was the mama, I was the daddy, I was the counselor, I was the teacher, I was the maintenance man, I was everything. Do you hear me? If anything went wrong in that house. So, how did I do it? I had to put some things in place to help me to stay sane. I guess that's a good way of saying it. Because regardless, the kids still had to do their sports. Regardless, I still had to go to school. We still had to eat. Bills still had to be paid. So, how did I do it? I had to make these strategies on how to harness and how to save my time. And then I had to get very picky on who I gave my time to. So a lot of people do know. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, you're going to lose a lot of people while you're in school. It's not the fact that you're bougie. It's not the fact you think you're better than everybody else. It's the fact you're just too busy. But if they're not in school, they don't know that. So they're going to catch feelings. But then in the same sense, if they fall off the loop, guess what? They was never for you. Because if anything, they'll be trying to help you. Do you want me to take the kids to daycare? Would you like me to come over there and you can bounce ideas off of me, or you can study with me where I present the information to you and you read it back to me? You know, if people are going to be in your lane, they're going to help you. Well, guess what? My family was in Austin. I was in Killeen. So Austin and Killeen is about 45 minutes to an hour, give or take. My mama lived about an hour away from me. So I didn't have that centralized help all the time. Even though my uncle, he was here, he tried his hardest to help. But at the end of the day, he still had his own life as well. So I had to get me a planner. Yep. I had to get me a planner. I had to take notes. I had to have to-do lists. When I tell you guys, my to-do list was crazy. And that's how I managed. I wrote a to-do list every day in the morning on what I had to do that morning. And as I completed the task, I would put a line through it. Put a line through it. Then, of course, once I finished LVN school, I had a little more money. So I was able to get a planner. You know, even though people's like, well, a planner only costs $2. A planner only costs. Well, at that time, if you're a nursing student, you ain't got no money to be spending on things like that. So a pen and a piece of paper did me just fine. Especially having 3 small kids, and all my extra money went to their extracurricular activities and their snacks and making sure that their shoes weren't too small and their clothes weren't too tight. And you know, as mothers, we don't really think about ourselves. So a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil did me just fine. I would write these little daily lists on what I had to do that day. My assignments for school, I would put those on a postage and I would literally thumbtack them to my wall. Then I got really smart. I got magnets for my kitchen refrigerator, ice box, wherever you're from. And I would put the magnets on the refrigerator with whatever I had to do that particular week. So it kept me up with my assignments because everywhere I went, I was able to see the assignments. Right? I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. So, as we all know, the nursing information in nursing school comes at you really fast, really, really fast. You can have 4 to 5 tests in 1 week where they only go over the information in one day. And then they expect you to read 100 and something pages. So you're like, how is this even possible? How am I going to be able to keep up with these things? Well, you have a syllabus that you get actually from your teacher. Your syllabus, you should input that into your phone since everybody is digital now. Back in the day, I used to have just a list, a paper list, and I would write everything down for that day on what I was doing. And when I would finish what I was doing for that day, I would just put a line through every task that I've done. But now, being in the digital world, input in your phone those due dates for your syllabus and put in your phone a slotted amount of time. Well, guess what? This is your time. This is mommy time. This is studying time. Get you a quiet place in the back, put do not disturb, which, of course, if you have kids, that time is when they in the bed, right? They in the bed. So, I mean, let's be realistic. Ain't no mommy time while the kids are awake. So get your kiddos on a routine. Once you get them on that routine, that'll help you with your time management because it's going to be so much stuff that you're not going to be able to keep up with. You're going to be missing assignments in the beginning. You're going to be cramming for tests in the beginning until you build these time management skills. Time management is going to make your life so much easier. And then also, you're going to lose a lot of people while you're doing it because the fact is, you're not going to have time for anyone but your children, making sure you eat, making sure you sleep. Sleep? Is that a thing? Making sure you sleep. And then, of course, study, 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 test, test, test. That is what your life is going to be while you are in nursing school. Hey, I'm just here to keep it real. I'm just here to keep it real. It ain't going to be no, oh, let's go out and party. Let's go out and do this. Yeah, when you get your week breaks, you can do that. But then you'll be too tired and you'll be trying to study for the next semester. So, how did I get through it? Like I said, I had my daily checklist where I wrote everything down that I was doing that day. I made sure I prioritized if it was important to me, not important to my friends, not important to somebody else that I knew, important to me. And trust me, while you're in nursing school, everybody's going to want you to do everything for them. So you're going to have to know and learn how to prioritize your life for you, not for the next person. Trust me, these skills that you learn in the beginning is going to help you when you start working as a nurse or anywhere in the healthcare field. So I learned really quick to make sure that I read ahead on those chapters. That is going to be the most helpful thing that you can ever do for yourself. Read ahead. You don't even have to read the whole chapter. Just go to the back of the book where it say review, skim through that really quick, and guess what? It's going to be your guide. So when that teacher is giving you that information the next day, you're like, "Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it." And then you're able to zone in on what you didn't catch before. Also, recording your lectures will help you to save time because when you're out and about and you're driving little tink tink to football practice or little Cindy Boo to go to cheer practice, guess what? You can be playing that. I remember it was times where I'm sitting there in the car, y'all, taking tests in the car, sitting there trying to hurry up and do a discussion because my kids have football practice and it's about to zone out. So there is a way for you to be able to be successful in nursing school. The question that I always ask people is, how bad do you want it? When you realize how bad you want something, you will make the sacrifices, not knowing that you're making the sacrifices. It will be like second nature. You will be like, they will say, hey, let's go here. You say, I can't. I got to study today. It'll be automatic. But the question is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be a nurse? Yes, it's going to be trying. Yes, it's going to be a lot of things that you cannot do that you would normally do, but it will be worth it at the end if you truly have a caring heart and this is really your calling. Another example or a little funny story um, that I had, it was the time frame of my husband, getting back from Iraq. Big deal. We have all kinds of meetings and payas before they come, and everybody's like, hey, we want you guys to come and we want you to help us with these banners. And we had to be out there like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning waiting on his bus to come. And I'm like, I got a test in the morning. But guess what? While I'm sitting there waiting on that bus, I was studying. I can tell you that. I was studying because I had to prioritize. Yes, I want to be here for my husband to get back from Iraq, but in the same sense, I have a test in the morning. So what do you do? Do I just say, oh, forget my test? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to kumbaya with my husband? No, I had to literally keep my priorities in check. And I mean, honestly, look at me now. Those little things and those little sacrifices helped me as I went through each level of nursing, because there's going to be a lot of things that you want to do. And when you get into nursing school, you're going to sit there and you're going to say, what did I get myself into? How am I going to be able to manage this? Looking at that syllabus, it's like as if you're signing your life away. I guess that's a good way of saying it, because you are. You're signing your life to studying, to being able to help and save other people's lives. So it's a lot of information. You can go to your local Walmart, dollar store, and they have these little lovely things here, right? Some people, like I said earlier, you're younger, you're more digital. You have a digital planner. So when you get that syllabus, download that digital planner download your syllabus into your digital planner. However, some people like me, I do both ways. See this little handy planner here? On the days when I knew that I had an assignment, I would make sure that I mark it there. And I would check this planner every day like a Bible. Every day, everything that I was doing for that whole month, aka that year, was in here. I'm talking about very important dates like birthdays, sports events, like for my kiddos. Because remember, I had 3, and all 3 of them was in something at every given time of the year. If it wasn't football, it was track. If it wasn't track, it was cheerleading. If it wasn't cheerleading, it was dance. They were always doing something. So I knew once I got out of school, I probably could take a 30-minute nap, and then I'm picking everybody up and we're going off to something. And we're not going to return back to the home to 6 or 7. So crock potting was my friend. I'm just going to be honest. When it came, we did a lot of crock potting while I was in nursing school. Yeah, we did. And a lot of meal prepping and meal planning prior, but also this handy dandy little planner and my regular piece of paper that I pretty much just had my pen and paper, wrote my little daily list on, and I'm going to keep stressing your daily list. Yes, this one is good for assignments. This one is good for very important dates, but your daily stuff needs to be written down daily, because the one thing you don't want to do while you're in nursing school is forget that Ivan has a teacher conference at 4 o'clock, but you overslept because you didn't write it in your daily planner. So, or Ivan has a recital. And I say Ivan because it happened to me. But hey, now he's 17. I mean, it's bridge under the water. He forgave me. It's 300 I think. Yeah. We just gonna say he forgave me. He tells me he loves me every day. But anyways, so it's just little things like that. You don't want to be that parent. Y'all see me? You don't want to be that parent that forget things or you rushing to get to things. So daily lists are good for your daily tasks. The planner in the digital planner is good for your assignments. It's good for your birthdays. It's good for your events that you have coming up with your kiddos. Very, 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 very important dates that can help you with time management. Every day, you need to allot a certain amount of time for everything that you are doing. Because guess what? You can get lost in the sauce. And what I mean by lost in the sauce is you can be doing one task and then you end up looking up at your clock and it's already 4 hours in, but you only allotted your mental to do 30 minutes. So how does that happen? You get into doing something and you don't watch the time. Set a timer. Okay, I'm only going to do 30 minutes for this task. You will be surprised on how many things you get done and how quickly you can get things done when you actually put a timer to yourself instead of you saying, okay, I'm going to do it. Like me, when I do my makeup, sometimes it takes me forever, right? And my husband, he hates it, especially if we're going out. He hates it. But I know that if I'm on a crunch time, like, oh my gosh, I got to be out of here in 30 minutes to go to work. My face is done. It's beat to the gods. Do you hear me? Because I know that I have to be on a timer. Or if I got an event with those kids and they sitting there looking at me like, if you don't come on, woman, I move faster compared to if I ain't got no time or I feel like I ain't got to do nothing, I'm going to take forever. So make sure that you are actually allotting the time and you're timing the time and you stick to it. See, that's the number one thing a lot of us don't do. We start doing it and then we don't stick to it. Remember, it takes 21 days to break a habit. You have a lot of habits that you're going to have to break. Well, nursing school going to break them regardless. But you have 21 days to break those habits. You have 21 days to set new habits. So implementing that time management into there, letting your family know, hey, guess what? When I'm at home from 7 to 9, I'm untouchable. You cannot communicate with me. I'm studying. I'm making sure the kids are bed down. I'm making sure the kids are fed. The kids are good to go. We got to get ourselves on a routine with me being in school. And then on the weekends, I only have like 4 hours to give y'all. I know that sounds bad, but trust me, you'll thank me later. Trust, you will thank me later because you're not going to be as overwhelmed because you are setting your time boundaries. You're telling people my time is valuable because you're going to realize your time is very valuable, especially in nursing school or any other healthcare field. If you look it up statistically, nurses take the most assessments, meaning the most exams out of anybody. Nursing is one of the, if not the hardest degree to get. Yeah. So, like I've always told you guys, I'm the one that had to take the stairs. I had to learn the hard way. Almost failing and having to repeat classes because I didn't have good time management. But I'm here to teach you guys, again, how to take the elevator. Yeah, am I proud of that? No, but I am transparent enough to be able to tell you it happened because I did not value my time. I did not allot that time to study, knowing that all that information was coming at me 100 miles an hour. I felt like I can get to it later. Well, when you do that, guess what? Later I'll be here before you know it. You blink and later I'll be here tomorrow. And you have not did anything. And then you feel like you want to cram and stay up all night. Cramming is not good for you. You are not retraining that information. You have to see it and repeat it and say it at least minimum 3 to 4 times in order for it to stick. And you have to be able to teach it to somebody. So you're thinking you're going to cram the night before because you didn't do good time management? That's not going to be a good look and it's not going to play out good for you. So remember your daily schedules, writing things down. That also helps to clear your mind for the day. Because have you ever woke up and all you can think about are the things that you were doing that day? Learn to start writing them down and you'll see, because you'll be able to look at it instead of it running around in your mind. As you complete the task, make sure that you draw a line through it. That's going to make you feel empowered. That's going to make you gain that confidence that I can do this. I can actually do nursing school because I'm looking at all the things I have accomplished. Yeah, even though it's a day, every small bit, every small step counts because it's putting you closer to your goal. And then you use your planner and your digital planner for your bigger tasks, for your bigger events and birthdays and things that you know, like, okay, I know for a fact during Christmas, I got this time off, but yet I still have to study for chapters 2 to 5. Don't take those breaks and not look at those books, because it's just like you're teaching yourself all over again when you do get those breaks in between. You got to have time management. A little bit of something is better than nothing. Remember in podcast number 3, I said taking that one class at a time, the same thing, taking that one chapter at a time, and then making sure you review those chapters prior to class is going to help you as well with that time management, because you'll be able to get that aha moment sooner than later. So that's less time that you have to spend on that subject. Also, always remember, self-care is everything. Everything. If y'all knew everything that I had my hands into now, but I still find a time to look good, right? When you look good, you feel good. I don't care if it's you going out and getting a pedicure, if it's you getting your hair washed, your hair colored, just something that you know that you like to do for yourself, buying that favorite book, taking a walk, just finding that you time. It will do a little R&R, a little bit of refresh and recovery. That can go a long way because it'll clear your mind and give you a little bit of clarity. Most of us, we just go through the motions, and we don't remember to take care of ourselves. But then guess what? That can lead on to other things. That can lead on to depression, anxiety, feeling like you're not good enough. Because remember, in order to feel good, you got to look good. Who cares that you're not getting your hair done every day? But as long as you're able to comb that hair and put that hair up into a nice ponytail, or to be able to make sure your face is clean and you look presentable, how you step out is how everybody is going to look at you. How you step out is how you feel. I can be down and in the dumps and I can be sad about a situation that just happened. But you best believe I'm going to look amazing. And when I look amazing, I feel amazing. Even though the situation I may have heard has been bad, but it still doesn't give me that sadness to the fact that I'll just get into a depressed slump. So speaking of that, let's run on ahead and talk about a health tip real quick. Let's talk about depression. So while you're in nursing school, depression will kick in because, like I just told you, you will lose a lot of people and you're going to think that it is you. It is not you. You're going to be studying. You're going to feel like you cannot get that grade that you want. Like, what is the problem? You're also going to feel overwhelmed. You're not going to want to take care of yourself. You're not going to want to take care of your house. You're just going to be like, well, I think I'm not good enough. Why aren't you good enough? Who told you you weren't good enough? Remember, you were at a spot once you get into nursing school where millions of people would, I'm not going to say this word, would die to be. Remember, you beat all the odds. You're there. You're in that slot. But again, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to keep that spot? So in order for you not to get into that depression slump, guess what you got to do? Because you're not going to be connected to people like you were connected before. You're going to have to find that self-care. You're going to have to find those things, small things that you like. Once you pass the test and you do great, Take yourself out for ice cream. Get yourself that book that you wanted. Buy those shoes. I'm not talking about those expensive shoes because nursing school we too broke for that. Not the expensive shoes, but go and find you something on Shein or somewhere, Amazon, something that you've been looking at that costs a little trinket or something. At the end of the day, treat yourself is what I'm getting at. Treat yourself, but don't go overboard. Because we already know that nursing school debt ain't nothing to play with. But all right, y'all, on a serious note, depression is real. And if you feel like you having no symptoms, then guess what? Go talk to your provider about it. There is something that can help you. Okay? Hey, y'all. Are you having trouble with time management and don't know where to start? Do you need study tips? I know it can be very overwhelming while in nursing school and in the healthcare, but your healthcare big sister got you, boo. Tune in to this episode of Bri Chronicles, Time Management. Why? Because while healthcare is constantly growing, you are confidently glowing. Don't forget to follow me on all socials at Bri Chronicles, and do not forget to visit my website at www.nursebreechronicles.com for updates. Talk to you later. Bye, boos.